Hi everybody, I'm Larry Wilner from the Bizz Buzz Channel, and we're really happy today to have Josh Riddle from the Black Label Agency. Black Label Agency is a digital marketing company, and I came to know Josh because he's done a lot of work for my wife, and I have to say they're excellent, so we're really happy to have Josh in the studio today to capture some of his insights. So Josh, welcome, and please give us a little bit of an idea of your background and how you came here.
Sure, thank you. Pleasure to be here. So really my background has been in the digital space since I was a kid and really as a programmer. And digital marketing is this blend between creative and programming and business. I used to work at an agency and really founded Black Label with two other partners to help business owners really grow their companies. We saw a need in the market, and as entrepreneurs, we filled it.
And here you are. And who are the partners? Can you give them a little
Sure.
shout out here?
Yeah, Brent Hoffman and Aaron Riddle, who is my brother. They were the two other founding partners. So we used to actually have another company where we focused on websites and really wanted to help our clients not only build those sites, but market them. So that's made the logical transition into the digital space.
And I know you do a lot of networking, as I do, and I see you around a lot, and I see a lot of other digital marketing companies around.
Sure.
It's a crowded space,
Mm-hmm.
so give me an idea of what makes you different. Why is Black Label a different alternative for potential clients?
Sure. Yeah. The market. It's really funny for digital marketing agencies. There's a lot of boutiques out there, and so they're trying to target. Well, I'm a social media agency, or I'm an SEO agency, or a branding agency. And what happens is business owners and anybody in business has probably experienced it that you're trying to find the right path to market your company, and these boutique agencies are really niching down, but it forces a business owner to decide which strategy they're going with before really even engaging a company. So what we really wanted to do was focus on the comprehensive strategy and building this blended approach to digital. And we're doing that by what we call smart, agile, truth-driven marketing. Smart because it's an intelligent way of doing market research. Agile because we're not just strongly going into a strategy for 3 years and then just seeing it through. And then truth-driven because we want to take the data and not have it data-driven, but truth-driven to see what the data is really telling us.
It's a lot of information there.
Yeah.
So let's break it down a little bit. So why don't we start with a basic definition of what you would call digital marketing? It's a term that's used everywhere. We even use it as we're a digital media company. So give me an idea from your perspective. Define that for me, digital marketing.
Yeah, and it's funny because digital marketing companies will work together with each other because
Sure.
we target different things. At the largest level, digital marketing is just getting your brand in front of other people online. So any device, anything you're looking at, if you can get your company in front of other people, you're doing some type of digital marketing. And these days it's grown into websites and search engine optimization and pay-per-click advertising and display advertising. There's all these different approaches. So I really just see it fundamentally as get our brand in front of other people and get those people to convert to customers.
So if I were starting a company today and I came to you and I said, Josh, I need help. Please, I need some marketing help. How would you advise a startup, a young company, a company that's just hitting the market?
Well, it's always based on goals. So you have to decide what you're really trying to do. Are you trying just to get people to know about you? Are you trying to increase revenue? And then building that foundation from there. So what's your position in the market? And then what's the message you're trying to get out there? How do customers want to perceive you in that market? And then from there, really fundamentally do something. We see a lot of hesitation because business owners want to make the right play and they don't want to dabble too much. But it can be something that keeps you from actually taking action. So we really just advise small startups just to select one channel. Maybe it's social media, and you want to be that company that owns social media in your market. Or maybe you just want to have content marketing, or maybe you do a lot of video. But choose something. And
Video.
Yeah, video would be a great one.
Video. Let's talk video. Keep going. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, so you choose that one path and just stick with it and really put all of your effort in there, because if you're starting up, you don't have these huge budgets, you don't have huge teams, and you need to really be focused and not get too diversified too quickly.
So instead of feeling like you can't do anything or feeling overwhelmed by it, try something.
Right.
Take one step forward, see how that develops and evolves. So is there a particular strategy for small companies that you think has particularly more value, like video? That's my bias, of course. Or is there a pay-per-click? Or can you give us an idea of where you might focus for a small company?
Yeah, it's tough because it depends on the market, it depends on the company, it depends on the product.
A lot of variables involved.
Yeah. I think one of the worst things you could do is just say like, oh, well, everybody's on Facebook, let's just do Facebook.
Right.
Especially if you are a B2B company versus B2C or B2G. And
we'll talk about that later, because you threw a lot of letters out there. So
that's digital marketing. It's all 3 or 2 letter acronyms. That's all it is.
World of acronyms.
Right. Yeah. So if you really look at what your competitors are doing, you want to do something different, especially if you're going up against somebody that has a lot more money than you. So if you see all these online ads from a company that maybe is a little further down the market than you, don't try to compete there. Try something different that they're not doing. I think analyzing your competitors and really dissecting what they're doing online is a really great way to start.
Sure. So basically feeling comfortable with where you are, understanding where you are in the market, and making decisions based on your vantage point. If you're not a big guy with a lot of money, you can only do certain things.
Right.
So be comfortable with the fact that you can't do the big stuff, but do the small stuff.
Exactly.
It's just doing something.
Yeah, and being consistent. You don't want to just start something like back, more prevalent in maybe 5 to 8 years ago was everybody was starting blogs.
Right.
And I was like, oh yeah, start a blog. You can make a lot of money and people will see your brand. And it's like 3 months and then they stop. And that still happens today with like content marketing, where you're creating all this cool content, infographics and all that, and you get burnt out because you don't have the money to hire somebody, or you're just staying up until 2 a.m. trying to get it out before the morning, because that's when you have to get it out. That's when it's supposed
to be. Yeah. So before I forget, B2C, B2B, B2G.
Yeah,
right?
So,
did I get them all? Did I get those 3?
That's
so give me the definition.
B2C is business to consumer.
Got it.
B2B is business to business, and B2G is business to government. And so they're all very different strategies.
Interesting. I didn't realize it was a B2G. I've heard B2B and B2C, but not B2G.
Yeah, and we differentiate that because it's much different for if you're really stuck in this government space, which can be very lucrative, but it's a much different marketing strategy. And so each of those strategies, if you're B2B, it's very sales driven, it's very relationship driven. B2C can be more just, hey, it's lower value, it's $30. Sure, I'll throw $30.
Sure. So the ads that you see on Facebook, YouTube all the time, buy this now from Amazon or buy this, that's B2C.
Yeah, if it's you're targeting a consumer rather than a business.
Correct.
And there's a consumer product is going to be lower cost, where you're not going to sell a $300,000 retainer through a single online ad. So that we have to change the strategy for those types of deals.
Sure. So now let's jump to the big dogs, like the big companies. What are some of their challenges when it comes? Now they've got the bigger budgets. They also have to support a bigger overhead. Mm-hmm. So there's more challenges for them. They really have to work hard to get that content out there. What do you see as some of the major challenges for them?
Sure, it's funny because a lot of the challenges end up being very similar, just at a broader scale. It's always the question of, are we doing the right thing? Are we doing enough? And is it efficient? Are we getting the return on investment? Once you have a lot of traffic coming to your site, it becomes more of a question of, what are people doing when they're on our site? How are our customers interacting with our brand? And how do we optimize that or find better ways of getting them to engage? So if you're starting out and you have 100 people on your site, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I just need more people. That's just not enough. Whereas a large brand might have 10,000 people on their site. And it's not so much about getting more people there, but how do we get those people that are there to convert to become repeat customers?
Continue down that sales funnel, so to speak.
Exactly.
So to go back to what you think maybe the strong platforms are, what would you recommend to bigger companies? Are there specific strategies that you think have been more effective, or that you've seen have been more effective?
Well, if you get into the larger budgets, it becomes a lot more fun and creative, because we can build our own platforms that are really targeting their customers. So it becomes less of, let's get these people onto our site, but maybe let's get people to interact with this really creative thing and get them talking about that thing rather than our brand itself. And so it becomes much more about how do we find a unique way to get people talking about that brand rather than more of a direct strategy.
Well, just a little plug for you. You guys are instrumental in my wife building a 9-week email course that she offers out for free to clients based on what you constructed for her, and she uses it all the time. And it's been a tremendous marketing tool for her. So kudos to you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Because even though it's a free thing that she offers out, it's gotten her a tremendous amount of business because she's offering a client something for free. They can reach out to her, see what she does, interact with her in terms of the email course, and then it's just lowered the barrier for them to contact her for real work that she can charge. I said that she can charge real money for. Right. So we appreciate the efforts that you did for us.
Yeah, and I think Linda does amazing work. She's like a true professional, you know. And for her, it's a challenge.
As opposed to her husband, who just hangs around and does interviews.
And so she has the challenge of balancing the time between marketing and actually servicing the clients. So to have something that's pretty much automated to really keep those personal touches going through that email course every week that she's getting in front of those people.
Sure. And one of the things that's funny because I've had this conversation with numerous partners in the past. At some point you have to graduate from the do-it-yourself marketing to we have to find the money to find somebody to sit in that chair that's going to be the marketing guy.
Right.
Because you or I, me and my partners, we can't do it. We don't have the time. We need to go and commit ourselves. So is that a battle? I know it's a battle for us in the video world because everybody thinks they can create their own video.
Right.
Everyone wants to do it themselves, but they don't realize what really takes to do it effectively. Does that battle come up for you guys, or have you kind of gotten past that?
No, it still comes up. I think where you are experiencing, I can just buy a camera and do it myself. For us, it's, we'll just hire a millennial, and they know social media.
Or get an intern.
Right. Yeah. Just hire somebody, and they'll go on social media. But digital there's so many different disciplines, and so Black Label. There's 7 of us. We all have our different disciplines.
Sure.
So I'm not really the online display ad person, and I'm not the SEO person. Each person really has their really specific area. And so if you're hiring one person, that might be great for just doing some basic stuff. But I wouldn't expect, hey, let's pay somebody $30,000 and expect $30 million coming in from this. So
there's no correlation between lower pay and higher outcomes.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it's not a reverse correlation. So as kind of a wrap up, what's down the road for digital marketing? Where are we going? Where are you going? Where do you see the big hits are for you? And what do you think you're going to be pitching your clients in 5 years?
Well, as marketers, we're always looking at the questions that consumers are asking or that clients are asking. So we want to know more about the thought process that's going through a customer's head. And what we're really trying to do is learn as much as possible and then personalize that experience for them. So instead of right now, if you're looking for a new camera or something like that, you're going to most likely go online.
Sure.
And you're going to start asking some questions, and you might go to a site and then engage with that site, whatever that is. What we want to do is have that information of what you were looking for specifically, and then be able to cater the entire experience from there to you. So in a personalized manner, it might be you go to one site that's talking about lenses, and we find out, okay, Larry's just super into camera lenses. So when you come back to the site or you go to another page, it's specific to those lenses. Whereas somebody that maybe was more interested in the 4K experience, the whole site could adjust to what they're really looking for.
So this is your client site that you're talking about. Now all of a sudden, when I'm going to that site, you're going to make it more personalized for me because you're picking up whatever my interests are from whatever it is that I'm surfing around on your site, or however you're picking that up. Maybe you're looking at my eyeballs through the monitor. I don't know what the new technology is. And from that, when I come back, you're going to be directing me more. So kind of more of an interactive experience.
Yeah, and even you leave the site and go on social media, well, let's give him the ads that are focusing on the lenses because we learned that. And there's a lot of that today, but it just gets more and more. There's more platforms that are kind of asking for your permission to market to you and listening in to what you're doing. And it gets pretty scary, the data we can get today, which is great for the,
So what do you know about me?
client. Too much.
You learn too much.
Right.
Well, is there anything we missed? I want to wrap this up a little bit because I can go all day long with digital marketing because I'm in that digital space a little bit. So, and I've messed around with it, done it from a lot of different angles. So I want to make sure you feel like we drilled down enough in terms of getting your message out. Are we good?
Yeah, the one thing I would say that's going back to Black Label is what makes us unique. And it's kind of a topic that comes up because I'm passionate about it, but we're a worker cooperative. And a worker cooperative is a unique business structure where we're democratically owned and governed by all the employees. So what we really want to do is anybody that is coming on board as an employee becomes a partner very quickly. And worker cooperatives are very big in Europe, and they were big during the Industrial Revolution. And we've applied that model to a digital marketing agency, which allows the creatives to really have control of the company.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
We could be talking about worker co-op. That's the next interview.
So history lesson begins now.
Interview 2 with Josh Riddle and the Black Label Agency. Worker cooperatives, right?
Yeah. See, who knew that this would be a history channel?
That's fascinating. Well, again, Josh, thanks for coming in today. And I want to thank everybody for visiting the Bizz Buzz Channel. You can subscribe to us anytime. Feel free to email us if you have any questions. I want to again thank Josh Riddle from the Black Label Agency for coming in today and sharing his wealth of knowledge about digital marketing. So thanks again.